Hello and welcome to the What the Code show here in the X-Team studio live in Sao Paulo. I'm very excited with our next guest, who is Laura, a friend and a colleague. Laura, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm Laura. I work from X-Team and I also create content here in Brazil. People know me more about Kibum, but it's not actually my real name and not a nickname or anything. That's my user from League of Legends, so I make this a thing.
Well, I have so many questions, but let's start with that. How did you come up with the nickname Kibum? What was the origin of that?
Very weird because, I don't know if you know the ice cream called Kibum. Is an ice cream here in Brazil that is called Kibum. And I really like it. I still love it. I used to eat those almost all the weeks. Don't eat so much, but this is an ice cream that I actually love it. So I was first joining on League of Legends and I thought, I need a really cool nick. And then I thought, I'm gonna be Kibum, my favorite ice cream. But unfortunately, they already have. So I started combining things. And in the end, there are also a K-pop group that I love by the time. That this guy's name was called Kibum. Then I thought, it's the perfect mix. And I don't know why, but works. And the PNG just came because, most of my friends say, you look like PNG because you're so transparent and things like that. So this is why .png.
That's one. It sounded like it was just meant to be. All the universes were aligned for you to become Kibum. How did you get into being a social media influencer? Because you've got quite a large following. You produce some really engaging videos. Even for me that doesn't understand Portuguese, I still tune in and quite like watching them. How did all that start out?
Well, when I was a teenager, I saw many YouTube channels and some Twitch lives. And my dream was to be a streamer. But my computer was not supporting me. I was supporting myself, but my computer definitely didn't want me to be a streamer. So I started doing some kind of YouTube contents related to League of Legends. That is my favorite game. So, X-Team is also my dream because we work with Riot, so yeah. Anyways, so I started doing some content related to League of Legends. But after a while, I understand that YouTube channels are not meant to me. I don't have enough patience to actually edit and record so long videos. And usually, especially now, YouTube videos has usually 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It's too much for me. So after a while, I just started on TikTok, and back in the time was called Musical.ly. That is a different app, but it's almost the same, but yeah. And I started there and I started recording my cats. But my cats, after a while, they're just so lazy that they're not doing pretty much nothing. So I didn't have anything to record. I started doing some kind of lip syncing related to Disney and all of this. But after this, I needed to create original content because when you create original content on TikTok, you might be able to have the verified sign-in. And I wanted this so badly. But I started doing related to games. I started doing streamings. But at the same time, I was working as a software developer. And even knowing that I play, there's a bunch of content that related to players. And I couldn't see many related to software developer or anything like this. And I thought, that might be my chance. So this is how I actually started. After a while, it just started going very well. People were like, I know what you mean. I also love, this always happened to me. And fun thing is because different from X-Team, which I appreciate you guys so much. Before I create very many contents, and not all of my contents are related to me or related to things that actually happened to me. Sometimes I just listen to someone's history and I'm like, I could create something about it. But people actually many of my comments is like, your boss is gonna fire you seeing this video. And I'm like, guys, this not even happened on X-Team or anything. What are you thinking?
This is so interesting because I think a lot of people who view your content are probably seeing thinking, oh, I want to do that. I want to be like Kibum. I want to get this audience and have this social media following. So it's really interesting to hear your story and the different parts that grow it. Firstly, on Musically, I know it as well, just because I remember when my daughters were, I don't know, like 8, 10 years old, and Musically was popular, and they were doing the lip syncing to all those slow motion songs. So I'm guessing there's some good ones out there of you doing that, Laura, for us to find. Have they all been flushed out and disappeared off the internet? You've managed to secure all those?
Yes. When I start to gain a bunch of followers, like 10 followers, I just like, oh, I need to delete those. Just delete before this becomes something, I don't know.
Yeah, get rid of all the embarrassing older content. But at what point did you find that it just sort of, like, did it just click? Was it like overnight there was a particular video that like got a lot of following, or was it a progressive rise to get that verified and to get all those followers through that?
It was more progressive because even though that you have a very trend video, this does not mean that people will actually follow you. They mean that they might like your video, they might share your video, but doesn't mean that they are like, oh, I like this content, I'm gonna follow. So it's very hard to grow up, at least for me it was. Still being very hard, but it's a fight, it's a battle, everyday battle.
And you're on TikTok, LinkedIn, and Instagram?
Yes.
And do you post the same content on the different ones, or do you alternate based on the different platforms?
TikTok and Instagram are pretty much the same, but related to LinkedIn, sometimes I do some kind of jokes that people might not actually get it, because LinkedIn people are more intense than they are on Instagram. I think because LinkedIn people are most like searching for a different content. Then I try to post more serious content on LinkedIn. All the ones that I kind of do some jokes, but not like will actually offend someone if the thing is to be offended. Because in my case, I actually do jokes about everything: software developer, designers, recruiters, everyone. Because life is simple, guys. It's just about kidding. But on LinkedIn, people are like, if you say, I don't like apples, people will be like, why do you like apples? Why? You need to like apples. So that's the main reason why I prefer just posting more serious content. People get along better.
Well, see, I find LinkedIn, not only is it serious, I find that it's a lot of the content is either boring or it's boastful. It's like, hey, have a look at me. I'm at this conference. Look at my name badge. Whereas I think it'd be nice to think about what, like, give them something, give your audience something that they can hook into, something that is either some new information that they can learn, or something that is perhaps a little funny, a little entertaining, just so that it stands apart from the others. I find that when I do that, I've actually shared something that people connect with more.
That's also true. But I do appreciate people posting like, oh, I went to an event. I love seeing those, because this way I can actually see something outside my reality. Because for me, I mean, I know the events that I usually go, I know what we have here, but sometimes looking for other people, I can just look and say, oh, I wish so badly to go there too. Let me see if there's gonna be another day, or maybe next year. So I kind of enjoy seeing this.
Is something that I'm very curious about is, when you post content, do you have an idea of what you think might trend and what wouldn't? Like, how much have you gotten to understand how to predict what will work and what people will like?
Usually in my case, to be honest, I don't actually know, but sometimes I have a feeling like, I think this might be the one that we go very trend, but it's not, I mean, I'm not always right, but sometimes I have this kind of feeling. Usually the most things that, at least in my case, got viral is things when you are actually saying like very common things that everybody experienced the same. For example, I did a tomato video that I'm actually just grabbing a tomato and saying, oh, POV, you're the tomato from my burger, because I don't like tomatoes, but I like things with tomatoes. And I just did this pop and get like many views because I think everybody just experienced pretty much the same. And the ones that actually liked tomato was there to criticize me, like, oh, you don't like tomatoes, but you do like ketchup?
You got the lovers and the haters. That way you got both parts of the audience. There was one post that you did that I really connected with, which was your meeting's about to start and you just quickly rush into all the things that you have to do in that 1 minute just before the Zoom call starts. And I think for a lot of people working remote, you really click in with that like watching the clock about how much can I quickly sneak in before we all show up to that call. And then I think anything where your cat's in the background always helps.
Yeah, my cats, they're the actually star for my channel. I can say this. Many times when I'm recording, special technical content that I'm now starting doing more, my cats is always, one of my cats is always sitting me. And every time there's a bunch of comments saying, oh, I couldn't pay attention. I was just paying attention on the yellow cat.
Can I ask you were saying, one of the things that started you with it all was League of Legends and your connection to it. Was that what inspired you to get into development, to get into the tech space? Even
before I started actually playing games, my family always have played many video games, so I always get some kind of connections with those. But at first, I started liking computers because I do enjoy doing things. And I don't know if you remember the past Tumblr platform. It was a blog that you can actually customize your page. So I got obsessed with customizing mine with pink stuffs and hearts and everything related to this. And for you to customize and actually create a page very in your way, you actually have to do some programming. So that's the moment when I actually started looking for something, started to learning a little bit on the internet. I didn't get to know a bunch, but I know how to fix things and to make kind of look the way I wanted. So this was my start. And after a while, when I started playing, I actually wanted to be a game developer, but I ended up kind of giving up because here in Brazil, it's hard to become a game developer. And back in my time when I really wanted this, working remotely, especially for companies outside, was not actually a huge thing, or at least people are not talking about it. So I kind of give up.
For us, it's quite exciting that we do have the opportunity to work with some great game companies, with Xteam, with Riot Games and Epic Games and others, and that they value that they can find great developers from everywhere in the world, which we provide. I think most of us who have done development at one stage, we were inspired by wanting to do game development, but there is so much more to development than beyond just games. What sort of development work do you do at Xteam?
I'm actually a full stack developer right now, but I'm more focused on the front end. And I work in the most excited platform for the core team that's called XU. So it's Xteam Universe. It's our community platform. So I'm a huge fan.
That's awesome. What excites you about it?
Well, there's so many things. First of all, related to development, I've been able to work with so many different stacks and technologies, which is so great for me to be able to learn. And related to the platform itself, it's wonderful because first of all, I can actually meet people. Usually on Slack, at least me, I'm kind of shy. I wouldn't be like just going to someone and say, so hi, how are you doing? How are you? Where you work for? Let's be friends. But on XCOU, I'm being able to actually meet people. Because, so you saw a post, you saw someone doing a quest, especially the introduce one, where you can see their face, you can see a bunch of the people's story. And you can actually comment and say, oh, hi, that's nice, I'm also enjoying this. And then you can kind of start talking. And after this, we have the complement that is Xteam events, where you can actually meet those persons. So I think XTU and Xteam events, they work pretty much together.
Well, because it's so important, like when we have this opportunity that we want to provide people access to work remote, but we also want them to feel connected. There's such a difficult element around the world of, I really believe, a loneliness epidemic where people are feeling disconnected. And so for us, hiring people from so many different countries, we want them to feel connected to something. So both with events in person, but XTU is really neat because it's a opportunity to connect remote. Can you tell us a bit more about what XTU does? I think it's a good opportunity for us to hear from you, how it connects people together.
Well, XTU actually has many things that might be done there. Currently, we have, how can I explain? If I need to explain how XTU actually operates, I think it's a gamified social media because it's almost like an RPG game, but at the same time, it's social media. Because you have basically the quests, and when you complete the quest, you can gain experience or you can gain coins. And these coins you can actually use to buy some of our vault items, like this one, the X-Team. Oh yeah, this one is my favorite, my current favorite. I'm trying not to use too much because, you know. Anyways, so you have many possibilities. We also have the chat where you can actually communicate with people, and we also have the theater, where sometimes we have some bunch of events. We watch movies together while we are typing on the chat. We have also the radio and live streams. So all these things together actually make you connecting, because at least one time you'll be joining any XTN event and might be happening on XU. Usually they are, but they might be happening there. So you probably will try to just at least talk to someone, do some comments, and after a while you will be able to actually find this person. Or for example, this year we have the season, we have houses, and these houses are competing, but you also competing as an individual. I didn't win anything, thanks Paulo, because you won everything that I was trying. Paulo is something else, guys. He's so determined, like, oh, I'm gonna win. And he does. I don't know how, but anyway. So, and you actually have the ability to compete with other people. And meanwhile, I made new friends while I'm trying to compete, because I was joining the competition, trying to compete. And after a while, I have to comment, like, how you're doing this scores? You need to tell me. So you start actually talking. So everything may make you talk to people. Isn't
that wonderful? And this is like, we have this amazing leader here, Mario, who's our VP of Experiences, and that's his driver. He's wanting people to feel connected, to feel that they have an opportunity to get to know other ex-teamers, so that they're not feeling like they're working alone, that there's a whole community that's there to support them. So yeah, there's cool merch that you can get, but in order to do that, you got to get involved. And once you get involved, like you said, you make friends. And that's so wonderful, because it's something that we need. We're social creatures. Even if you're introverted, we need friends. We need people that we connect with to chat. It's actually part of our mental health to have that. So I think it's wonderful, and it inspires me, being in this company, to have a company that sees that as such an important element, to connect people together. So that's why I think it's so awesome that you are such a integral part of that, of building that for us. How did you actually get into XT?
In my case, I didn't know XT before I joined it, which was really weird, because apparently everybody here in Brazil doesn't know XT. I was the only one there. I've been hiding, I don't know where, but so Edu, Chapola, and Fabio, they connect with me on LinkedIn, and they started saying, so we have a role here, an open role, we want to know if you'll be interested. So I do all the process, and I end up, at first, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I thought it was a scam, because to my reality, this was way too good to be true. They're talking to me about the community. They're talking to me about the Unleash. I really thought this was a scam, because I mean, too good to be true. But when I first joined, I still was like, so this is actually true. This is so nice. And I started recommending everybody, like, hey guys, let's join Extreme, try it. There's a portal, get roles, try to join there because it's super cool.
Isn't that wonderful? Like when you think about a job being too good to be true. I think that's just beautiful. I think if we're doing that, then we're doing something right there. And it's so neat that you were headhunted for the role. You know, they saw you online and got excited about the opportunity to see if you'd be interested in coming in. You mentioned the Unleash. Do you want to explain a bit about that? What is Unleash and how have you used your Unleash over the years?
Well, Unleash, it's a budget. I don't know if it's exactly this word you use, but it's kind of a budget that you have per year, when you actually can purchase things and get a phone. So you can purchase many things. You can purchase courses, you can purchase things for your office. You can purchase, I mean, my use usually is for books. Nice. Because I'm a huge fan. Star Wars things and some skins on League of Legends or Overwatch. Yeah, so that's my common user. So I'm telling you guys, you can actually refund anything. It's amazing.
The great concept about it is that it's different to your salary, you know, because your salary you'd use for rent or for the groceries or for mortgage or whatever. The Unleash was always about unleashing something within you that inspires you. So for me, for example, I use it for my guitar lessons and for buying another guitar, which my wife says I have too many of. For you, so many things within Star Wars. I think another great element is that we try to encourage people to use it for their travel, because we have this concept of not working from home but working from anywhere, and wanting people to feel like they've got an opportunity to live a very inspired life. I met with one ex-team engineer and in one of our outposts in Kyoto, and she said to me that if she was just getting the Unleash as just part of her salary, she wouldn't be in Kyoto because it would just go into the boring stuff of life that we need to pay for. But because you have to use it for these different categories, that led her to be in Kyoto and discover a different part of her life, which I think is great. Have you had an opportunity to travel much with X-Team?
Unfortunately, I just joined my first outpost a couple of months ago. I never have the opportunity to go to one. And it was so funny that I started, I mean, you guys started a fight on my family because everybody wants to join. They're like, so what the next year outpost? I want to go. I want to go to this place. You're going to take me. And I mean, like, oh, guys. Okay. Luckily, you guys, now we have more, I don't know, as extra Unleash to use for the outpost, because I'm definitely going to need it.
Yeah, because you were in Pipa this year, right? That was your first one in
Yes.
Brazil. So yeah, next year we've got South Korea and we've got Bali. We've got some pretty exciting places. But I must admit, my family are more excited to come to Brazil because they hear about how much I love it when I come here. So they're keen to see Brazil as well. Is there a place in the world that you're wanting to get to, either with Unleash or beyond, that you'd recommend?
Well, to be honest, I really wish to travel to Japan and South Korea. But in my case, I couldn't by the time that I went to Kyoto. And I'm still looking for if I will be able to go to South Korea this year. I mean, next year with the outpost. I wish to go to Italy too, but I mean, South Korea is kind of far away from my home. So let's start with the most wanted, and then I go for the other ones.
There's something quite awesome about traveling with work, I find, because when you're traveling with vacation, you're having to put work on pause and figure out all the different things you want to do. To be able to travel with work and to be able to work with it, I think there's something quite magical about it, because you're there with your colleagues, you're all still doing your day-to-day. You're just doing it in the magical new place, which I think is quite exciting. Yeah, I think it'd be amazing for you to see South Korea through that, rather than, I don't know, making it almost makes, I make it sound like through a vacation would be a bit more boring than doing it with the X team, where it's all organized for you.
Actually, traveling with more people is always more exciting than actually traveling alone or with just your partner, because you might, first of all, you might actually know new people. I made a bunch of friends on the outpost, and you can also have more fun because people are telling different stories. You can even know more because some people are there, we are exchanging knowledge. So this was great. We are working together and we're like, oh, so you can do like this. It was very funny. I thought I wasn't expecting this because I was like, whoa, it's kind of vacation, but I have to work. So I'll probably just be seeing people after my work shift. But now, no, I actually was seeing people everywhere, anytime, every time.
Yeah, that one that we were at together in Pipa was really quite neat in that some people were working for clients in the US and were working certain time zone alignments. Some were working for clients in Australia, some for the UK. So they all had their focused time that they were putting in their 8-9 hours or whatever. But then it meant that you had other friends alongside with you working at the same time, and then you could also either do a breakfast together or do a dinner together. And I find that you work differently with people once you've met them in person, don't you think? Like once you've met with someone in person, there's a different way to how you interact in the future when you're back online.
Yes, I do think so, because I think you can get related more. So if sometimes when we are online, my mom has the saying that when you're typing, no one can actually say your feelings while you're typing. You can say the same phrase and people can actually understand in different ways. But after you actually meet someone, you can kind of grab the way you imagine people saying that to you. So it's even more easier for you to have a better interpretation of this text.
That's wise. I like your mother's perspective on that you're getting an interesting layer beyond the keyboard, beyond the words, as to what they're actually feeling, because you've gotten to know the person and their personality and how they interact, right?
Yeah, my mom always used the phrase exactly like this, but in Portuguese, of course. Like I could say, I could type for you, like, you're so silly. They could mean, you're so silly. And it can also be, you're so silly. So this is why she always says that kind of understanding the person that you're actually talking to is better for you to understand everything. And actually, communication can be complicated sometimes. So actually meeting someone and you can get along with this person, so you actually kind of know, not know everything about the person, but you have an idea in how these people might be talking to you. So it's wonderful.
You made me think of something, like with regards to what someone's typing. Sometimes when we engage new companies, they're not used to working with people remote, and they say, but how do you know that they're working? Like if I can't see the developer, how do I know that they're actually working for me? And I think just because someone's sitting next to you and tapping on a keyboard, how do you know that they're working? They could be doing anything on there. It's about the results, right? If you found out that contrast between remote versus in person, this feeling of trust about work.
Yes, and this is actually a very distinguished thing that I think Xing is, because in my previous job, you always have to prove so much that you are actually working, especially during the COVID pandemic. You have to be all the times like, oh, I'm working, and people are always like, so how is going? Have you finished? How you finish? When you finish? And it's like, I already told you I'm gonna finish at this time, so just take a while, breathe. I'm working here, and it's okay. And after I actually joined X-Team, I was very surprised because X-Team really trusts you. Like, if you're here, we believe in you, you are working, you're doing your best. But at the same time, if you have any problem, we are here also to solve you, to try to help you, and to kind of understand you. So it's a very beautiful feeling, actually. It's a very comfortable feeling, I would say.
Trust is such an important word. You know, when you can't see someone when they're on the other side of the world, there's got to be trust. And it started from the very beginning. So when Dave Rosen founded the company, this was 2006. No one was doing remote then. And whilst he's in Melbourne, Australia, his second employee was in Poland, his third one was in Canada. He didn't meet these people in person. He couldn't see that they were working, but he assessed that this is a good person, both good from a technology perspective, but also from communication. And then the rest was trust. You know, trust that I've made the right decision in hiring this person, that they're going to be just as invested as I am into what we're trying to deliver for the client, and let's see the results. And I think when you give someone that trust, you'll get that result back from them. I remember I used to work with people in an office and I'd look over their shoulder and they're playing solitaire or something on their computer or on Facebook. And again, just because someone's on site and on the computer doesn't mean that they're working. It's about sourcing the right person and then basing on trust, and you will get that results back. I really do believe that, and we see that with the people that we engage with at X-Team. Can I ask you something? Tomorrow is something very exciting. We've got our X Summit, so I get to meet you in person. We're actually here at the secret location that you don't even know where we are yet. We only give secret coordinates that we pick you up to. I met you for the first time at the summit last year. Can you tell us a bit about what an X Summit is like?
Well, X Summit, it's how could I say? I would say from Olympics, because it's actually pretty much like it. So you have your team that you don't know which is, because I don't know my team. I don't know the color of my team. I've been trying to so Henrique, tell me more. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. Okay. So it's surprise from the beginning to the end. All the times you're having surprises, you're knowing more, and every year we have new things that Henrique do a great job, and he's very a secret man. So first of all, you receive a letter. This year Henrique did a really good job, because I take a while to figure out what is it, what the thing was. I couldn't ever guess, I just pull off the sticker, but okay. So now we have actually the coordinates, but we don't know where we are going. We don't know what actually we need to bring. He did it. He tell us bring this and that, but you can't be sure because you don't know where you're going. And when you arrive there, there's almost like a show it's so funny because it looks like TV stuff. It always looks like TV stuff. And you get to know your team, you get to know the activities that you might be joining or not, because you can join or you cannot. And then you need to compete for your team to win. But meanwhile, you are there trying to find stickers to complete your album. The last time I completed. To complete your album, you need to run for the activities, you need to find people, and then you start talking. And after a while, also X-Team does the best thing ever, because they're always in the best hotels ever, so they have really great food.
You mentioned the stickers. What are the stickers of?
Oh, we have. So do you know how? I don't know if in another place have, but I do think you guys might have too. But we have also an album like the World Cup album, that you have all the soccer players from the teams and the countries and everything. We have pretty much the same from X-Team. So all the teams, you have your own sticker. So you can have your own sticker. I have mine, and you actually can complete the album. I actually have this here. I can show you. It's kind of easy to get. Yeah, because I just completed. So you actually do have a real album. You have the legends, you have the teams, you need to get the stickers, you need to exchange the stickers to get more and to be able to actually complete. So it's very good. That was my best. That was the best thing that I did last year because I was able to finish.
Oh, you persevered. You were like trading stickers like no one else to get in early. But the cool thing I like about that is that the stickers are of every X-teamer. Every X-teamer that shows up to the summit is on there as a sticker. Like you say, like a soccer hero or something like that, because that's how we see X-teamers. It's very hard to get into X-team, so we really celebrate the people that are there. But Henrique does something really smart there, that sticker trading, again, it's just an opportunity for people to have social interaction, to connect with each other, to become friends, because that's what we're encouraging. You know, when Dave founded this company, he didn't want to start a company, he wanted to start a community. He wanted somewhere that people can, even though they're from all these different countries, they can feel connected and supporting of each other. So it's not just dependent on management to connect you, that it's your dependency on everyone within the community to form that bond together, which I think quite wonderful in all these elements now to the X Summit as well.
And exchanging the stickers is really fun because I met many people that I never saw in my entire life on Next Team, and I was like, so I don't know you, but can you exchange stickers with me? And people was like, oh yeah, I need those too. I
like it when people come up to you and they go, Amit, I've got your sticker of you. Do you want it? I've got doubles. They come to trade it with you, which is so neat. Well, can I ask you back to you? Do you still see yourself as a gamer? Are you still in League of Legends? Are you still very active in gaming?
Yes, I couldn't ever let it go. It's part of me. I love playing. On my Friday nights, I actually play a bunch of games. League of Legends, Overwatch, everything that I can, I start playing. If there's a new game, I'm not actually, I'm a more competitive person, so I like this kind of game. But usually here at home we have the Friday night game and the Saturday night game night. So we grab some snacks. Sometimes we grab wine and we start playing. That's my night. That's my dream.
Wine and gaming. I love that. Your husband, is he a gamer as well?
Yes, he's even more gamer than I am because he plays everything and anything. I am more picky with my games because I don't have enough skills to actually play hard games. So
I like the fact that you've got this nice balance of how you have your gaming, your your work, your development work, and then also your social media persona that you have out there. How do you balance all those different versions of yourself?
Well, the developer one, developer and gamer one, I think it's pretty much who I am. So it's very easy for me to balance because it's like I have my time to work. If I have something that I really need to do, I prefer just taking more time and actually doing. But if I'm have all the days to finish something under control, I would be just stopping. I would be playing a little bit. I also study too because we need to keep moving forward, especially on technology because everything changes every day. But also related to Kibum, at first it was my hobby. Right now, I don't think, like I told you, I'm not 100% Kibum. Even if people think I am honest there, but like I showed you, not all the histories are mine, not all the things that I'm actually really related to. Sometimes I'm just trying to express the people's feelings. So it became more like sometimes a job that I actually need to take care of. So for example, for me, this is always on Saturday or Sunday. I record everything that I want. I record everything that I need to the week or sometimes for the month. So it's it's not hard to find a balance there, but it's still, people get very confused, and sometimes they actually think like, oh, so you're, like I told you, oh, your boss gonna fire you because of this story. And like, guys, I don't I don't even have this on my scene. So yeah, that happens a bunch of times. People really don't get very used to Kibum is trying to just create content for people, because when I'm creating content, it's not just for me. I'm creating for people to get actually look and say, oh, I'm living this right now. Oh, this is so me. Oh, this actually happened to me. This is why I'm creating content, not just related to myself saying like a self-expression, like, oh yeah, this always happened to me. This is happening right now. So, and sometimes I tell stories, but they are like far way longer than people think. They're usually like, oh, this happened like today. No. Like 7 years ago or something.
It's interesting that, like you even saying that people would say, oh, your boss will fire you for doing all this stuff. When I met you at the summit last year, I was just fascinated to learn from you as to how to do this, because I tried to use my social media to promote X Team so much. You know, I really get excited when a client reaches out to me and they say, oh, I saw a video that you did on LinkedIn. You keep coming up in my feed. What is this X Team? Like, tell me about it. Let's jump on a call. You know, then I feel that I've succeeded in engaging companies to come and engage with us for X Team. And so for me, I feel a responsibility to do more of that. So I'm always like look around and thinking, what can I put as content that will draw more people in? So I was very interested from you, and why I asked all the questions from the very beginning of this is to say, how do you grow an audience? How do you do that? Because it is something that's very useful in today's life. You know, like so many people benefit from being able to grow an audience. Something that you've solved here is a challenge for many companies. You know, in my role, I'm trying to do what you're doing, and so I appreciate the opportunity to learn from you, and I'm sure many people out there will do as well.
Oh, not at all. You're doing a great job. I always saw your posts on LinkedIn, and I mean, I can't tell as a company because I'm just a developer, but I can tell you, Xteam, Xteam kind of sells itself. Because every time I talk about Xteam or someone just see a video or listen about everything we have here, even related to the vault items, because people actually love Xteam vault items. They're always like, so can I join? Is there any job portal? We need English to join there. There is any role for going? And I was like, guys, connect to the X-Jobs portal and find something for you. And yeah, you need English, but
there's something exciting we've just started doing because we have clients that say to us, we keep seeing the X Team developers and they have such cool merch, you know, how can we get some of that? And what we've started to do is to do personalized merch, because we have our internal designers to do all this, personalized merch to suit to project teams. So like, for example, we just did a really great project with News Corp on OpenAI. So we've done this design that we're going to print on a t-shirt, which was about the X Team and News Corp OpenAI project that's going to be provided to the whole team, both X Teamers and News Corp people alike. We're doing that for Fox. That's something that's really neat, and that brings those teams together because we really want to unify them as, you know, one team working together, which I think is quite neat as well. Can I ask you, just looking forward, where do you see your aspirations? Is there things that you're wanting to, you know, learn more of or to do more of in your future, in your career? Like, have you thought a lot about, you know, where does the next few years take you?
Well, in my case, I'm actually trying to not change, because I will never stop being a front-end developer. But I'm trying to be more focused on the back-end side. I'm trying to learn Golang because I do think it's a trend. I do think it's a very common It's a great language. I've been studying for a while now, and it's a great language. There's a reason why people are exchanging, for example, Node for Golang. So looking for this, I'm trying to become a more backend developer than actually a frontend. Even though I'm a full stack, I have been always being more focused on the front end because I love front ends. This is why I'm telling you, I don't want to actually stop doing this, but I would like to be a full stack with front end side and actually working with Golang in the back end. So this is why I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to get better, to get more experience, to be ready for whatever comes and whatever that is in front of me. Maybe even trying to create some content related to Golang, who knows?
How do you find that transition of, learning the back end and strengthening that muscle of yours? Is it a big journey, or is it a different mindset that you're approaching to it?
Not related to the language, more about the architecture and structure of the language, actually. The language, it's pretty much, I don't know if it's because I already know JavaScript so well, so I can get easier new language, but related to how you need to think while you're actually writing Golang code is pretty much different than JavaScript because they work in totally different ways. Even the way you type and you write commands and functions and methods, everything, it's almost pretty much look alike JavaScript. But the way you need to think to actually do and work with backend, it's totally a different approach than frontend. Backend, you need to be really good with algorithms and structure, architecture. Frontend, you also need to know some, but you don't actually need to be like the best one in the world.
But I think it's wonderful that you're challenging yourself. You're going beyond the comfort zone to improve your experience, and it makes you more available to do more things, right? Because right now you're doing amazing things for our XTU, which, as we discussed, is such an important element of the backbone of the social function of X Team. But I can foresee that in the future you might wish to engage with one of the clients, and like you say, you're interested in working in game development, and that might be a function that you lead towards in the future. I think it's something that people should consider is stepping beyond their comfort zone and pushing themselves in that way, which I think is a great thing that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. It's been very good to actually study new things.
You're such an impressive person because you're both a remote engineer, which a lot of people, vie to be. As we said, it takes several years usually to get into X Team, and you're here, you're with us, you're doing some amazing work. But you also have such a social presence. So many people know you, and you're getting also to follow your passions and dedicate the time to being a gamer still, to doing all the things in Star Wars that I know you love. What words of inspiration do you have for young people, especially like females? Because we always want to have more women in tech. It's something that they bring their own unique individuality and their own space. What words of inspiration do you have for people who want to be like you?
Don't be afraid. That's what it is. Sometimes, especially when we are dealing with so many developers. Back when I was a junior developer, I always saw the seniors and I was like, they're perfect developers. I need to be like them. I need to be perfect like this. Because when I become a senior, I'm gonna be like the magician of the code. But when you become one, it's like you're still a person, you're still looking for someone and saying, oh, this person is so much better than I am. How can I become this person? So it usually have this afraid of failing that sometimes make us not going further. So the thing is, take your time. Not all the people's gonna have the same times. Many people see me and say like, oh, you're like, wait, 18? How you're a senior? No, I'm not. First of all, I'm not 18, but people has their own path. So I met developers that are are two way younger than I am. They are seniors, and they are wonderful programmers. At the same time, I saw many older developers. They're still growing up, but they're doing so much. They're doing great. So don't get other people's stories and say that this needs to be yours. Everyone has your own time and your own path. Just go, just try and study. That's all.
That's wise, and especially coming from as you said, a competitive person. Don't let others' stories define yours. And I think that's a beautiful note for us to go out on. Laura, do you want to share with us, like, where can people find you? I'm sure people have enjoyed this conversation and would like to hear and see more about you.
Or you can find me on the Instagram or TikTok, also on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I'm as my name, Laura Grassi. And on Instagram and also on TikTok, you can find me as Kibum.png.
But not on Musical.ly, right? That we can't find you anymore.
No, there's no longer Musical.ly. TikTok just bought it.
Wonderful. Laura, thank you so much. Such a pleasure to have this formal conversation with you, but I'm looking forward to seeing you in person tomorrow at the X Summit. A real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you so much for everybody working there, because I know it involves many people to do such a great show. So thank you so much.